Hey everyone, this is Ross, and this is a request video from I forget who, but I'll put you in the description. So this video is on Siamese fighting fish, otherwise known as the betta fish. There's many different varieties of Siamese fighter. There's half moons, which is what I've got. There's veil tails, which have got nice long tails. They're typically the most common. And there's placats. I'm sure there's other varieties, but I just don't know them. Most common colours are a deep red and a dark blue. I've just got the red variety. There's many other different colours. I think there's every colour you can get, even black. There's black, white, orange, yellow, green. That's very rare though. You name it, there's lots of colours of fighting fish. If you just Google it, I'm sure you'll find a lot. Very peaceful little fish when kept alone. I wouldn't recommend keeping fighting fish with other fish unless it's females, and you have to introduce the female to them in like a jar so you can see her for the first few weeks, and then you'll get used to her, and then hopefully you won't fight. But I wouldn't recommend keeping a fighting fish with any other fish. Here you can keep them with platies and other types of live bearers, but it depends on the fighting fish. Some will tolerate platies and whatnot, and some will just try and kill them. It's a bad idea to keep them with tetras because sometimes he'll eat the tetras, and sometimes the tetras will actually nip his fins and leave him open to an infection. So I personally wouldn't keep them with any other type of fish. You can if you do the research and you introduce the fish properly, but really does depend on the fish itself, because obviously you have different personalities. Small fish, he only grows about that big, 1 to 2 inches. Lifespan is up to 4 years. He comes from the rice paddies of Thailand, so it's a very large volume of water. The territories can be quite large, although the water is only about this deep really. So that's a nice depth for him. It's best to get a long tank and short, because that's what the rice paddies are. Provide multiple hiding places for him. Live plants are a good idea because it's heavily planted in the rice paddies, lots of rice plants obviously. A nice little house for him is good. He sleeps numerous times throughout the day and throughout the night. If you can't provide any real plants, then just buy silk plants, no plastic unless it's very smooth, because plastic plants can actually rip his fins. So that leaves him open to infection. So I'd recommend silk plants, live plants, and little houses or caves for him. Yeah, great little fish. There's been a lot of debate over the tank size of fighting fish. I personally think this size tank is nice for him. I think it's a 7 or 8 gallon. Some people recommend 10 gallons, some people go up to 20. If you want to know what the minimum tank size is, some people recommend cups. Now, some of you Americans have sold them in cups in Petco and whatnot, or in Walmart. I don't think it's right that they're kept in cups. They'll live for a few weeks, but you see a lot of them dead, so I would recommend something about the size 5, 6, 7, 8 gallons, something like that. And obviously you can fit a few guppies or platies in here, so it's quite a nice size for one tiny little fish. Yeah, so that's the tank size I'd recommend. This is what I think the minimum is. I'll just show you my hand for comparison. That's kind of the minimum tank size. Some people argue you can have in cups. This is just what I think's okay. Obviously that's about the size of one fighting fish, so it's decent, but I wouldn't recommend anything smaller than that because that's just not fair on the fish at all. So yeah, something larger than that. I'll probably get a lot of bad comments about that with it being quite small, but I've had fish in smaller than that, so, and they've lived. When the males are happy and active, they produce a bubble nest on the top, which shows he's mature at the breed. It happens more when you haven't got any water movement, but you'll sometimes produce a very big bubble nest. I always wreck his when I come to clean the tank. He gets very angry, he flares. Very territorial fish, but they're very friendly to humans. Fighting fish have been known to jump quite high, so it's worth keeping the water level on your tank down 1 or 2 inches just in case they jump. Mine have never actually jumped out before, probably because I've kept the water level low. I have actually trained my previous fighting fish to jump for bloodworms. You can do that. That's quite cool to watch. I mentioned there's different varieties. There's Half Moon, which is what I've got. He mainly swims about using his 2 front fins, which beat very fast, and that's how he gets about. Quite slow fish though. Not easily startled. If you were to tap the glass, he wouldn't really react much. So yeah, a good, nice fish. They're quite hardy once they're established in the aquarium. As long as you don't change much, as long as you only do 20-30% water changes at a time, you should be okay. The only thing I'd suggest is to let your tank cycle for 2 to 3 weeks before putting the fish in, because they can't tolerate high levels of ammonias or nitrates. So yeah, the tropical fish, keep them at 24 degrees C or 76 Fahrenheit. Obviously need a heater, need a bit of water flow. They don't need a light unless you've got live plants. But yeah, so that was just my little profile on Siamese fighting fish. If you like this vid, then please comment, rate and subscribe. Bye.